Y'all, I am literally shaking right now because what I'm about to tell you about Ashton Kutcher is going to blow your mind. Just when we thought his Diddy problems would fade away in 2022, honey, the universe said, hold my drink, because Diddy's former bodyguard just dropped the kind of tea that's going to have us all questioning everything we thought we knew about Hollywood's golden boy. And let me tell you something, when I say this is explosive, I mean explosive. We're talking about the kind of revelations that are going to make your jaw drop so hard, you'll need help picking it up off the floor. Remember all those wild parties we thought were just Ashton living his best life? Well, darling, that was just the sparkly wrapping paper on a package full of secrets that's about to burst wide open. What makes this particularly chilling is how it all connects to some of Hollywood's darkest mysteries. I'm talking about mysterious deaths, suspicious circumstances, and the kind of coincidences that make you want to sleep with the lights on. And trust me, by the time I'm done spilling all this piping hot tea, you're going to see Ashton Kutcher in a completely different light. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? Picture this. It's the early 2000s, and Ashton Kutcher is riding high on his success with MTV's Punk'd. He's the king of pranks, the master of mayhem, and he sets his sights on none other than Diddy himself. Now, Diddy was busy playing talent scout on Making the Band, living his best life, and searching for the next big thing in music. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of becoming another victim of Ashton's pranks, Diddy flipped the script. He reached out to Ashton directly, told him to drop the prank idea, and what happened next? Well, that's where this whole twisted tale begins.
I gave him a call one day and I said, I heard that you are going to punk me, and I just don't think that's a good idea.
I kind of don't think that that's the way you said it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, then you tell a story.
I'm pretty sure that's not the way you said it.
Okay.
I don't think that's a good idea. Is that what you said?
You would not believe how quickly these two became thick as thieves. We're talking about a friendship that had everyone in Hollywood talking, and not always in a good way. The bromance was so intense that when Ashton landed that coveted spot on Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People list, Diddy was practically writing love letters about him. I mean, listen to this gushing. He called Ashton his sounding board and went on about how they were yin and yang. In Diddy's own words, I'm in your face, but he is understated cool swab. The kind of praise that makes you wonder what was really going on behind those closed doors. But here's where things start taking a turn for the seriously dark and twisted. When all the recent Diddy drama exploded like a champagne bottle at a New Year's party, guess who was faster than a celebrity running from the paparazzi and disappearing from Diddy's circle? That's right, Ashton Kutcher. And let me tell you why this sudden vanishing act has everyone's detective senses tingling. People started connecting dots faster than a conspiracy theorist with a fresh cup of coffee, and what they found would make even the most hardened Hollywood veteran gasp. The timing of Ashton's disappearance wasn't just about avoiding bad PR. It was about keeping his own skeletons locked firmly in the closet. Speaking of skeletons, we need to talk about that whole Danny Masterson situation, because this is where things get messier than a toddler with finger paint. Ashton and his wife Mila decided to stand by their friend after those horrific SA allegations, and oh my word, the backlash was nuclear. Ashton wrote this heartfelt and now incredibly controversial letter defending Masterson, saying things like, I don't ever recall him lying to me, and Danny is a person that's consistently there for you when you need him. Meanwhile, Mila jumped on the defense train, calling him an amazing friend and outstanding older brother figure.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read. And not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that.
But wait, because this story has more layers than an onion, and trust me, it's going to make you cry. Remember Ashton's anti-trafficking charity thorn? Well, when the heat in the kitchen got too hot, our boy had to step down faster than a celebrity apologizing after a Twitter scandal. And speaking of hot messes, let's talk about that fascinating moment on Hot Ones when Sean Evans tried to get Ashton to spill the tea about Diddy's exclusive parties. The way Ashton dodged that question was more impressive than a professional athlete avoiding tackles.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So,
can't tell that one either. I mean, like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together.
Now, hold on to your seats, because what I'm about to tell you next is where this story goes from simply scandalous to downright bone-chilling. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Dill, just opened Pandora's box of secrets about Ashton, and let me tell you, what we knew before was like comparing a kiddie pool to the Pacific Ocean. But the most disturbing part? The connection to beloved actress Brittany Murphy. The parallels between her death and what happened to Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter, are enough to make your skin crawl.
Ashton Kutcher was also friends with Brittany Murphy, who also was friends with P. Diddy, who also died the same death as Kim Porter. Now, Ashton Kutcher as well also runs a child protection thing, I think it's called Fawn, where he's trying to save children. But we know now a lot of these people use this thing for child to actually not expose it, but to gain from their own benefit.
Let's dive deep into the Brittany Murphy situation, because this is where things get darker than a gothic novel on a moonless night. Found dead at just 32 years old, officially from pneumonia, but honey, that explanation has more holes in it than a Swiss cheese. And then, as if the universe wanted to make sure we were all paying attention, her husband Simon Monjack dies just 5 months later, in the same house from the same cause. I mean, what are the odds? No, seriously, what are the actual statistical odds of that happening? But hold on to your detective hats, because this mystery gets even more twisted. Brittany's father isn't buying the official story. He's convinced his daughter was poisoned, and here's where it gets really interesting. The coroner who handled Brittany's autopsy turned out to be the same one who did Kim Porter's second autopsy. Now let that sink in for a moment, but wait, there's more. The first coroner who looked at Kim's case found suspicious toxins in her body, but was mysteriously removed faster than a Hollywood star's bad publicity. And then, prepare yourself for this, that first coroner passed away under circumstances that would make Agatha Christie reach for her notebook. The coincidences are piling up higher than designer shoes at a sample sale. But we're not done yet, because according to Gene Dale, Brittany allegedly had an affair with Ashton while he was still married to Demi Moore. The plot thickens like a bad batch of gravy.
I was around Ashton Kutcher and Diddy before, and they were speaking about Brittany Murphy. And I don't think I ever told this story, and I'm about to tell this story here. While he was married to Demi Moore, he was still sneaking around seeing Brittany Murphy. You understand? We were going to a Nets game, so we picked him up, and he was explaining to Diddy that every time he goes to Brittany's house, paparazzi always catches him or almost catch him coming out her apartment or coming out the building. And Diddy was telling him that's either the doorman or your security. You know what I'm saying? And he was still married to Demi Moore at the time. So you could have something, you could be right. Because it's crazy how they said her and Kim and some other individual with them or around them all died of pneumonia, and they were in perfect health.
Just when you think you've heard it all, the universe says, hold my cosmic beverage, because there's more. Brittany wasn't the only girlfriend of Ashton's to meet a tragic end under mysterious circumstances. Another girlfriend was brutally killed just minutes before Ashton was supposed to arrive for their date night. I mean, the timing alone is enough to make you question everything.
He's not guilty of this, but he arranged a date. He was late for that date. And when he got to the girl's house, he looked through the window. She was stabbed 47 times. The man ended up getting charged.
The internet is absolutely exploding with theories and connections. People are starting to ask the kind of questions that make publicists reach for their anxiety medication. The comment sections are turning into digital detective agencies, with everyone putting pieces together like they're solving the world's most disturbing puzzle. One particularly observant soul wrote, Maybe it's time we look into Ashton Kutcher's human and child TR work, considering he's best buds with people like Diddy and Danny Masterson. Another internet sleuth pointed out, Ashton Kutcher has a long history with P. Diddy, and I'd be willing to bet he's got more than a few skeletons in his closet. And let's talk about these so-called coincidences that are stacking up faster than celebrity marriages in Vegas. We've got Brittany Murphy's mysterious death, Kim Porter's suspicious circumstances, the same coroner showing up like a recurring character in a true crime series, mysterious removals and deaths of investigators. It's all painting a picture that's making everyone in Hollywood nervously check their security systems. The connections between all these events are more tangled than headphones in a pocket. Think about it. We're talking about two women connected to Ashton who died under questionable circumstances. Both cases involved pneumonia as the official cause, both had suspicious elements that were seemingly swept under the rug, and both had connections to some of Hollywood's most powerful players. And let's not forget about Ashton's rapid disappearing act from Diddy's inner circle. The timing of his departure raises more red flags than a parade in China. Was it really just about avoiding bad PR, or was there something more sinister at play? The way he's been distancing himself from former friends and associates has everyone wondering what other secrets might be lurking in the shadows of his past. The most chilling part of all this? Every time someone starts digging too deep or asking too many questions, something mysterious seems to happen. It's like watching a real-life thriller unfold, except the stakes are actual lives and the consequences are very, very real. The internet sleuths are working overtime, connecting dots that span decades of Hollywood history. They're pulling up old interviews, analyzing past relationships, and scrutinizing every move these celebrities have made. And with each new discovery, the web of connections grows more complex and more disturbing. This story is developing faster than a Polaroid picture in summer sun, and believe me, we're all sitting on the edge of our seats, clutching our pearls, waiting to see what bombshell drops next. The question isn't just about what we know anymore. It's about what secrets are still hiding in the dark corners of Hollywood's elite circles. One thing's for certain, this story is far from over. With new details emerging daily and more people coming forward to share their pieces of this complicated puzzle, we might be looking at just the beginning of one of Hollywood's biggest and most shocking scandals. Stay tuned, because something tells me this tea is going to keep getting hotter.